Sometimes I do a live while I'm driving and just kind of ramble along on whatever topic. But the sun was going down and I didn't even want to take 2 seconds off the road because it's that time of year that my visor doesn't do me much good. So I was driving with this thing pulled down low. And I'm ready for my class. I'm outside the Kung Fu school. Kung Fu, Tai Chi, and Jiu Jitsu, if you're interested and in the Round Rock area. But that leaves me here early. It's... Oh, little kids getting their stabs out and heading it in for the... Oh, stabs and nunchucks. I guess they're doing some fun stuff. Ugh. Now today I wanted to take apart a really beat up desk chair that second grandson had pretty much destroyed. But nobody would put it where I could get to it easily to do that. All it takes to take apart an old desk chair is usually one screwdriver, whichever type you needed to put it together. Whether it came with a star driver, and if you're smart, you keep star drivers around just because some things do take them, or a regular screwdriver or a Phillips, right? No big deal. Well, his got to the point that it was beyond giving it to anyone else, even a thrift store. And at that time, he was more concerned about putting his new chair together than he was about taking the old one apart. I figured it could wait in the red truck, the old one. But he got told that was a temporary thing. And he completely ignored every request to bring it in so that I could do it if he wasn't going to. Because it's screwdriver stuff. Yeah, I might be clumsy. I drop things all the time, especially my phone and screwdrivers and things that should be real easy to hold on to and work with. No, he didn't bring it in. He didn't bring it in after theater practice today. His brother had an opportunity to, but his brother was thoughtfully trying to save his mom a few bucks. Because the younger one has been put on a low FODMAP diet. You know, the ulcerative colitis and what are those other two words? Yes, it is. Especially if you've got a little Italian soul who wants his garlic and onions and wants his lasagna and pizza and can't have any garlic and onions. So he has been quite tortured. Hi, Kamina. And yes, McKenny. I'm not trying to say your whole name because, let's face it, I have friends with small children and medium-sized children, and I don't need anyone trying to say your name. Yeah, IBS, but there was... I was trying to think of something else. I have been told that fermented garlic also works. And yes, he's using a fermented oil already. Crohn's is something else, but it needs the same thoughtfulness toward the guts. But you get inflammation, you get damage, and it really has to be taken seriously. But if he doesn't want to wind up in the same shape Leukopas is in, he may have to make a permanent change away from vegetable matter and carbs. And he's not looking, he does not want that to happen. Like I said, his little Italian heart wants the garlic and the onions and the pizza and the lasagna and the soup. Because who doesn't want soup, right? Besides my husband. You know he's like 3/4 of the way dead if he asks for soup. I'm okay. My look is somewhat affected by the fact that I had a stroke several years ago. But I'm doing very well, which is why I'm sitting outside the Kung Fu school waiting until my class. In fact, one of my classmates is right across the parking lot talking to somebody. And there's children going in and out. And his kids are in the kids' class. My kids are above the age to be in any of the kids' classes. And my grandchildren are not interested. And it's too bad. I think Tai Chi is doing me a lot of good. Don't worry about the honking. There's some children playing around in the front seat of the vehicle next to me. And I think their mama's about to give them what for honking the horn. And locking her door. Yeah, we have to be thoughtful about what we say if we believe for any reason small children might be catching it. And when somebody has a crowd of children and a few of them are, or really I think most of them are reading by now, and some of them love to jump on her streams, but yeah, we just need to be careful. I mean, I can change settings when I make this available, but it's alright. I can make all the comments go away. It's not a big deal. Sorry, I'm not in my reading glasses. Hi, artist. Yeah. The light's better than I expected, even though the sun is going down. But driving all the way here was like looking under the bill of my ball cap. Because I'm short, so my visor wasn't doing me any good. It just... nothing. And I'm trying to see if that's another one of my classmates, or it might be somebody here with a kid. It might be one of my classmates. And apparently her youngster is not getting buckled. I'm gonna mess with youngster. Just a little wave from somebody else in a student shirt. And yeah, I'll go in there and tell Gage and Rob that one of their kids was rude to Mommy when they got in the car. And locked her door. Okay, that car is a picking up the kid. It's great fun to see the kids come out. But that one came out without his jacket, the gi top. I don't wear the gi because I'm not in the Kung Fu program anymore. But he should have it with him. Unless, when you're in the weird sizes, then in between, you can get away with wearing the gi pants and the school shirt. Oh, adorable little kids. Lots and lots of little kids. Love you too, beautiful. I hope you're staying healthy. It's taking me a long time to get my health back. Because once you lose it, it is hard to get it back. We used to draw roses in text chats online way back when everything was just regular typing. And it'd be an @ symbol, and then you'd use dashes to draw the stem, and you'd use little emblems for leaves and thorns, and that would be a rose. And probably every woman in the U.S. who has worked tech support and taken support from those flirts who take care of the computers at the Pentagon has been given a dozen of those. They are flirts, but they're nice guys. Once they know exactly what you need, they will get you the information. You can say, hey, take this out, find the part number for me, whatever, they'll do it. And they especially find out who's helpful. We don't want to replace, I'm not in the tech world anymore, but you don't want to have to spend all your time replacing the screen on a notebook because it's rubbing on the keys. But those little bumpers to the sides or in the corners or what have you, they have a part number. And if you've got the system number and you are willing to place an order for replacement parts for those bumpers. Hi, Aaron. I was just saying that if you have the system number of a notebook computer, you can get back to the order number it came from. If that order is for more than just that one computer, you can order all those little bumpers that go around the screen and prevent the screen from shutting all the way down against the keypad, so that when you do that, it picks up the oils. It doesn't feel oily on your fingers when your hands are clean, but you have a natural amount of oils. It's protective. It keeps your skin healthy. In fact, every cell in your body uses fats and salt all the time. Yeah, I mentioned earlier I like to keep language really nice on the lives because small children might be where they can hear it. And this last person to enter, well, second to last, okay, have small children. Christopher, I'd like duck. That's probably my favorite. But I also eat lots of beef. I eat venison. I like, of the venison types, I like elk the best. What I have in my freezer right now, since Texas does not have a lot of elk, is whitetail. Texas whitetail are kind of small. But even if you get up into the northern mountain states like Wyoming, they're still smaller than mule deer, which are nowhere near the size of a mule, but they're decent eating. But elk is still better. I also eat all kinds of fish and shrimp and crustaceans and mollusks and top of the food chain over here, I eat tentacle monsters and alligator if I get a chance. Yeah. If you need an excuse to try something, remember, you are at the top of the food chain. You are the apex predator. You might not feel like it sometimes because spiders are icky and snakes are kind of gross. But outside of that, you're still an apex predator. And a persistence hunter. You're alive now because your ancestors got hungry and walked the mammoth herds to death. And when they did that, they only really needed one at a time, probably, for a village or clan or what have you. But they didn't waste it. Stable isotope testing of a nitrogen, I forget which number, has proven that your ancestors were meat eaters. Going back about as far as they can. When they find human remains and check it, they find out that's meat eaters. I hope my words are processing clearly enough because my processor's still recovering from the stroke. It takes a while. But mostly my favorite foods are anything that was able to walk. Although I will admit I have eaten lots of things that swim, fly, or slither. I've had the occasional chunk of snake. I mentioned alligator. I've had alligator. And sometimes, being in Texas, alligator is kind of like the crawfish. We got Cajuns all over the place out here, especially since Hurricane Katrina a while back. And they cannot live without their... Hey, Danny. But the Cajuns cannot live without their crawfish and their gator nuggets. Gator chunks, I should say, since gator nuggets is what Buc-ee's calls their puffed corn snack with a caramel glaze or something. I'm not sure what's on it, but I know I shouldn't eat it. But you know what? The kids love it. Whatever. But real gator has decent meat. Lots of it. Now, on the leg quarters, on a gator, oh, hey Gary, you really don't get a lot of big pieces of meat. The big pieces are all along the tail and body. But there is still a decent amount on the shoulders and hips and into the upper limb. Hey, Kev. Took the advice. I put out just a short heads up that I would probably do a live. And I got here and got parked, and I got a little ways till my class yet, so here I am. Yeah, actually, where I live right now, alligators used to be common enough coming up the San Gabriel River all the way past Round Rock and into Georgetown. But with everything being done to the various rivers, it's not so much like that anymore. Because they did what they could to improve fords. I did not see Thomas. Hi, Mason. Oh, there you are, Thomas. I see you now. Yeah, Mason, I typed out a long post about my stroke a while back. It doesn't include lots of stuff, like how difficult it can be to sleep on an exam table in the little emergency room divisions, little rooms, because their bean counters know they've got to keep so much space available in case there's a huge event. There weren't any. They just couldn't be arsed to give me a bed in a regular room. And when it was pointed out that I had not had a meal from the time I had arrived, they got in a hurry to bring me some of what currently passes for food in hospitals. And I ate what was, I think it was a sugar-free pudding cup. And I'm sure it was not fat. And a little bit of eggs. And it was gross. It was all gross. And some more cute little kids are getting piled into their car seats and buckled in. But now it's after 6. But yeah, that's been a little over 3 years. We're past winter solstice now. And the event occurred on the last calendar day of summer, which was a Wednesday, I know, because I had class. I had that conversation at class, and I went home instead of going immediately to a doctor. I could have probably saved myself a bunch of time. Just go sit in the ER until it actually happened, right? No, I should have trusted myself better. That's what I should have done. At the moment, I'm glad I got all the way home before it happened, because nobody wants to be driving and suddenly be super dizzy and have a swoosh of wild movement and then not get home. I kind of wonder how many single vehicle accidents occur because people don't know a stroke's coming. And they really have not got anything predictable, anything reliable yet as a means of stroke prediction. It's kind of like when is an earthquake coming? Some places people live, you just kind of know it's going to happen. Yeah, just slightly over 3 years. And I still can't walk straight. I'll be walking along, left, right, right? And all of a sudden, my right foot will be 3 inches on the wrong side of my left foot. Or I'll try to turn to take something down from the refrigerator case in the grocery store, because I shop the meats and the cheeses and the dairy, right? But once my foot is turned, if the toe of my shoe is against the lower structure of the refrigerator case, then I have a hard time getting myself out of that. Especially because the processing power in your brain goes way down when things happen, and it makes it harder for your proprioception, which pretty much means your self-awareness of your body and your body's position in relation to everything around you. Like, I can reach up here right now. That's my rearview mirror, my steering wheel, my shifter. I can do that. No problem. But when my foot was getting wedged against the refrigerator shelves, you know where the lunch meats and the cheeses are in the store? That's where. It wasn't a closed case, it was an open case. But I had sort of pivoted my foot to keep my balance, and my toe was against that structure down below. I could not get my foot freed up. Well, I got the product I wanted, tossed it in the cart, and then hold on to the cart with both hands while I moved the off foot and got the other one untangled. And it's those little things. Like, people can tell you how they have to go to physical therapy, but they don't tell you that that's what happened. They don't tell you that their foot got wedged the wrong way and they fell, or they stumbled, or the foot that should have been working just fine wound up in the wrong place. Your proprioception, you starting over. I'm trying to tell them, okay, that mosquito I'm seeing is outside. Yeah, this time of year there should not be mosquitoes, but I just saw one. So that's kind of like squirrels. I would rather squirrels be served up in a pan of gravy and some hot biscuits. Yes, carnivore has been a huge part of my recovery, because you need the nutrient-dense foods like meat and eggs to get enough biotin, and biotin is one of the B vitamins. I can't think which one at the moment, but there's some other ones. And you need nutrient-dense foods to remyelinate the neural sheaths. You have to build that protective layer back on them, because that helps you get your signal-to-noise ratio better. Think about a TV. If your TV has great signal coming in and not a lot of static, then you have good signal-to-noise ratio. You can get your programs or put on Paw Patrol for the kids or whatever. When your neural sheaths are eroded by an event, then you wind up with your foot wedged against the lower structure of the refrigerator case, and you can't move. But Tai Chi is helping that, and the intake, what I eat, that's helping. Something else that something else that helps, and it happens to help a lot, is to make sure you get plenty of electrolytes. So, if it happens to you, get your butter, get your bacon. Don't let anyone talk you into low-fat foods or statins. Because when your brain has an injury, which a stroke is, it will signal your body to release more cholesterol. Your liver has to put that cholesterol together, and then the happy LDL goes out and starts repairing things. I also take Cerule Stem Enhance Ultra and Plasma Flow. Plasma Flow helps your body break down the plaques and deposits of the fibrin, the clotting agent in your blood. You get a scrape when you're a kid, and that fibrin is what forms the scab. You get high blood pressure as an adult because you're doing something crazy. And that fibrin deposits in the microvasculature, the really tiny veins. And you do have enzymes that help clean that out. And I have a link on my About. I did for a little while, Mason, but I don't think I need it at the moment. I think that taking in more on top of me being past the crisis is unnecessary, and it would spend money that I could spend on the Cerule products. Because I like knowing that even though at my age, and I'm going to be 60 in a month, I would normally release or be releasing just slightly less than half of the amount of stem cells my body would have released when I was 20. But Cerule has been third-party tested and proven to release, or proven to help you produce and release up to 48% more stem cells than you would without it. Okay, I'm old and I have damage, so this is a good idea. Now, along the way, because I started carnivore first, I can't say anything was just because of the Cerule products. But, here we go. Yeah, the sun is down, but I still got 20 minutes to class. But, stem cells do what stem cells do. And yes, there is a blood-brain barrier, but you know what? Your brain is geared for that. You have the means. Your body has the ability to produce stem cells that can get to your brain. How's that? Isn't that awesome? But you need the protein. And the thing is, while I've been having the slow recovery, because I don't think anything heals slower than a brain. But because I'm recovering so slowly, there's been time for other things to happen. I don't have the TMJ popping anymore, and that has gone on since I had my tonsils out way long time ago. I no longer have the popping and clicking in my left knee. I'm waiting for my right knee to catch up. It might take a little while longer. I don't know. But between having the stem cells and having the plasma flow so stem cells can get where they need to go, and having the high protein diet, because the protein helps you build the collagen you need in connective tissues. And some of the structures of the knee are very difficult to heal. Which is why I have this. I don't use it all the time, but it's handy. If I'm shopping by myself, I can use it to get stuff down from the top shelf. And if I'm tired, I can lean on it. Ooh, the sky is getting dark and it's 1:15. But yeah, the electrolytes help with the signal to noise ratio. And I feel a lot better since I've been taking the Cerule products than I did before I took them. And I have had all this time to be reading up on what's good for me and what's not worth bothering with. I think one of the smartest things I did was to cancel all my future appointments with Dr. Idiot and the rest of the idiots at Baylor Scott and White. Because once somebody says they're not going to take something, I mean, absolutely not up for discussion, not gonna take it, then stop trying to browbeat them into it. And I said as much on the automated telephone review. I don't think I called Dr. Idiot at that time. Yeah, that's on my about, and on at least a couple of my, well, more than a couple of my lives and posts and videos and things. I follow Bart K and Sarah Pugh, and I don't say her name correctly. Pugh. She's Welsh, so it doesn't sound like how it's spelled. But Richard Smith, the Keto Pro, he's Welsh also, so he says it exactly right. Go figure, right? So it's more like Poe, but she does not look anything like a dragon warrior or a panda. But something is close to that. It is kind of, I thought it had a little bit of in between Pew and Poe, but I'm not Welsh, so I'm not going to put any money down on that. But I follow her, and anyone who has seen my, I think it might count as a short, but I did a live showing how a grounding strap fits on my shoe. And then I was watching one of her workout videos recently. Turns out she's also into martial arts, which kind of explains why she looks good. Because a little bit of exercise goes a long way, right? How long will I take this rule? I do not know. If I had a broken arm and I just wanted it to heal quickly, I might be taking it for 3 to 6 months. At my age, that's reasonable for healing for a bone fracture. But it's my brain and an old knee injury, and I had bone loss. And the fact is, I don't know what has helped the bone loss the most, but my bone mass is back up to average. And it did things that usual bone loss drugs did not do. The usual bone loss drugs will cause... Oh yeah, I do. I love them too, Danny. But I was starting to say about these other drugs, these options they try to get you to take. And the usual thing for bone loss will cause more mineralization of what little bone you have left. So you're crunchier, but it does not really improve the structure of the bone very much. I didn't need that. But I needed the exercise that I fixed to go in here and get. And turns out, Erin, you're going to love this. The vibration plate, I asked Coach Steven if there was any help from the vibration plate toward the bones. Because I know that the vibration plate twitches the muscles, which then pull on the bones. And he said there is some thought that it does help. But that the evidence is anecdotal, people like me, what have you. But that's great. A lot of women have bone loss who have not yet been diagnosed. I got lucky, mine was diagnosed long ago, and I managed not to break anything in the meantime. And we're about to start 7 hands sometime soon in here, which is yet another opportunity for me to collect bruises or get small fractures if I do things wrong. I'll try not to, I promise. If I get any impressive bruises, I promise I will show them. Oh, it's getting dark. I'm glad I did my driving to get down here while it was still light enough to see well. I had to shade my eyes for that. Take my purse in, take my water in, take my weapon bag. My weapon bag's in the back hatch, but that's where I can get to it. Yeah, if you love Coach Steven, it might interest you to know that he is another one who has a Sorol Products link. He himself, Bart K. I love Bart K. And I love the creative almost swearing he does when he's not doing actual swearing, because that's a pretty good example of how to deliver an insult without saying something I don't want to say in front of someone else's 4-year-old, right? Because if I call somebody a buffhead, I'm not going to be too worried about a kindergartner learning that. Whereas sometimes I want to call people something, like calling Dr. Idiot when I made my post today. I did not give Dr. Idiot's name. I did give the name of the system where Dr. Idiot is enslaved. And hopefully Dr. Idiot escapes with her soul intact, but I don't know if that's even possible anymore. Because if you're pushing people to take statins, then you are a party to causing diabetes and cognitive decline in people. And they're pushing us just because, oh, you're over 50. Here, take this, 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 and this. No. What? I told you to take this. No. But we want you to take this. No. Not going to take it. Yeah, at least Dr. Idiot has not reached had not reached the 300-pound mark at last time I saw them. Although she was pushing maximum density. And some doctors just stay thin because they have to run down long hallways all the time, all day long, responding to stuff that shouldn't be happening to people. Why shouldn't it be happening? It shouldn't be happening because we should all be in better health. But they can't admit that we should be in better health, because then they might go out of business. And another one of my classmates just arrived. Yeah, you know the ones. We want you to do this and this and this, and don't eat red meat, and get rid of the butter and use the oils, and yuck. And they wonder why the cancer rates are so high. I don't need the stress of dealing with them, which is why after I got the results I wanted for something, is that I had a CAC score below 190. It was like 187 or something like that. It might have been 178. It was real close in there. But for a CAC score below 200, a lot of people would be telling me, oh my God, be happy. You're 60 and that's all you got? But it's time for me to go inside, get my shoes off, use the restroom, all that stuff. It's time for class. So, get the exercise you're able to get. Erin, you are excused from getting extra exercise because I know you exercise plenty. So whether you have an easy walk on your neighborhood street, or sit, stand, squat, or sit and put your feet on a vibration plate. Yeah, good night, Mason. It's like, do what you can do. Be more active and feel better. This winter is shaping up kind of dry. I might be walking some of the park paths around here. But eat what makes you feel good. Grandma loves you and wants you to be okay. Bye-bye. And there we go. Oh. Am I sure I want to stop streaming? Yes.